Welcome back to Signal Theory 111. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So if you see my last couple of videos when it comes to the crypto fundamentals, you'll know that we've covered a little bit of the introductory stuff up to this point. What crypto is, kind of breaking that myth of the magic internet money and what the true promise of crypto actually is to the global economy. And then we also have talked about some security protocol and a little bit of the onboarding process when it comes to your crypto. So in those videos, we mostly covered the why or the how. In this one, we're going to get into a little bit more specifics. So I'll run through a couple of the different tools that I like to use. Of course, we have an antivirus, VPN, which is a virtual private network. And then also I'll go through a couple of different exchange options for onboarding, offboarding your crypto. Okay. So first things first, let's go ahead and talk about a antivirus. Okay. So of course there are stock options for most PCs and laptops. I believe Windows Defender or Windows Security. They have like a built-in VPN, or I'm sorry, a built-in antivirus as well. But I generally think that it's good to have a little bit more premium service here. The reason being is, as you start building up a crypto portfolio, your wallets and everything are going to be subject to unwanting attention. Okay, so and especially if you're just generally holding crypto or whatever else, you're not going to be worrying so much about this. But if you're actually someone that's going to be following along more with what I'm showing on my channel here, getting into different DeFi opportunities, using different dApps and stuff like that, you will want to have a little bit of extra security. So that being said, I use McAfee myself. I do have the advanced plan. It can be a little bit pricey, but again, it's valuable to have that security whenever it comes to some of the stuff that we're interacting with. Okay, for all the promise that there is with crypto, for all the good things that can come about crypto, there is also a lot of scammers out there and a lot of people that will try to take advantage of you. Okay, so that's why going through this stuff before we ever even buy crypto or before we ever even get into looking into projects, that's why we do this. Okay, it's important to set up that security base before you ever even start buying crypto. Okay. So the antivirus, just in case we get into some website that might be fake, or connect somewhere where we shouldn't be, or open a link that we shouldn't. You want to have that protection there. Okay, so the second piece of security is a VPN. Okay, so a VPN is a kind of like a twofold solution here. So the first thing, and one of the most important things, is it routes your traffic to a different location. Okay, so let's say you're connected to a public Wi-Fi. People that are much smarter than I can connect to that Wi-Fi and gain access to all the different devices connected to it. Okay, so if you're using a VPN, it routes your traffic through a different network, which hides you from that attack. Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing is too, if you don't like the tracking that goes on with some of the institutions involved. Okay, so using this type of service can help you throw off the traffic or throw off the path to your traffic on the internet. And then the second thing, and one of the other more important things, is it circumvents some location restrictions, specifically in DeFi. Okay, so you'll find that some of these DeFi protocols, some of these decentralized applications, they don't really like certain investors from certain regions. Okay, they don't want to be under the United States regulatory scrutiny. So oftentimes they will completely omit U.S. investors. So that's why you can see here, my VPN is set to Ireland. That way, whenever I go to some of these decentralized exchanges, whenever I go to decentralized trading dexes, it sees my system as being in Ireland, so I can circumvent that location restriction. Okay, so those are two very important things you want to have, or at least be looking at yourself. Okay, and whether you get them or not, it's entirely up to you. It would just be irresponsible of me to not mention the security aspect of things before we get any further than this. Okay, so I will provide official links for McAfee and for ExpressVPN. I do have a referral link for ExpressVPN. If you sign up with my link, we can both get a free month of trial. So worth checking out. At the very least, you can check it out, see if you like it, see if it's something you're going to use. Or if you use a different service altogether, I don't mind that at all. I would prefer to see you secure than just use my links. So cool. Then let's get into one of the next most important things, and that is how you actually onboard crypto. So we're not going to go through the procedural stuff today, but I'll show you a couple of different tools that I like to use. Okay, so for me, um, I find it generally easier to go through a centralized exchange, or I do have another solution as well. But first, we'll go through a regular centralized exchange. So the one that I like to go through myself, just because I've been with them the longest, I have the most relationship with them, and that is Crypto.com. They are, one of the big three, I guess you could say, in the U.S. Crypto.com, Kraken, Coinbase. Those are what I would consider like the big three. But yeah, so they're pretty cool too. Of course, with any exchange, there's a lot of nuance. Okay, so there's different deposit methods. You can fund a USD account, or wherever you're from, you can fund that account with your card or bank or whatever. Or you can purchase crypto directly. Oftentimes they have a little bit different fee structure. I think with crypto.com, if you deposit using your card into a fiat account, it's like 1.5% fee. If you buy crypto directly using your card, it ends up being like a 3% fee. So there's different mechanisms in place depending on what route you take. What's important to note is that all exchanges do have a fee structure. Even if the depositing into the account is free, whenever you swap it for crypto, that's where they're going to get you in fees. Every exchange does this. They make money in fees and they make money in spreads. So we'll walk through that just briefly first too, because my other solution to this actually kind of goes around those spreads. Okay, so check this out. We'll come up here and we'll search for USDC. And you can see right now, if you go to buy USDC on crypto.com here, 1.0049%, or I'm sorry, $1.0049. Okay. If you go to CoinMarketCap, you see that USDC is actually 0.9997. So actually very close to a true dollar. Why is crypto.com, charging such a premium? Okay. So they make, point, 0.005 cents on every dollar that you spend. Okay, it might not seem like much, but if you're spending thousands of dollars, this can end up being hundreds of dollars. Okay, so this is one way, or one place in which these centralized exchanges really do make a killing. Okay, so I bring that up to say there are some solutions for certain areas of the world, and especially here in the U.S. You can actually trade crypto on PayPal. Okay, so one thing that I found pretty recently is that if you use PYUSD, and of course, if you look here, like some of these options are a little bit more limited. Okay, you got PYUSD, Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, Chainlink, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. And that's it. Okay, but the good thing is, let's say you use PayPal USD. This translates a true 1-to-1 to the dollar. Okay, so there is no swap fee here. There is no spread. Okay, it's truly whatever you put into it, you get out of it. I'm not a huge fan of the PayPal mafia myself, but I will say whenever it comes to onboarding and offboarding crypto, this is one of the better ways to do it, in my opinion. Okay, they don't take much in the way of fees. If anything, last couple of $1,000s I've done this with, I have not had any fees assessed. Whenever I cash out, whatever I cash out, that's what shows up in the bank. So this is one of the better options, in my opinion, or how you can get around the spreads and the fees that a lot of these centralized exchanges operate with. Okay. And that is pretty much it, I would say, for the intro to some of the tools you're going to use. For now, we're not going to get into like crypto wallets and whatever else. We'll keep this more so in the early stages, the pre-setup. We'll keep this into the early stages, like the pre-setup stuff into buying your first crypto. Of course, there is a little bit of a process into getting set up. With any of these exchanges, you have to go through a KYC process, which is know your customer or know your client. So there is a little bit of a identity verification process before you're even able to buy and sell crypto. But this is the first step. Okay, so once you have your security stuff set up, the antivirus, the VPN, you get your exchange and stuff set up, and you get your first crypto purchased. That's when you're really into uh, getting into the driver's seat. Okay, everything else is just getting the car ready. We'll get into some other stuff here in the next video, like more on the decentralized side of thing. We'll talk about some different wallets you might use and some different tools you might use here. As you can see in my extensions, here's one of them, Rabby. This is a wallet extension. And these are two more security things that we'll get into on the next video as well. We got Pocket Universe and Web3 antivirus.